A very good morning to everyone, and welcome to this week ahead video where we're going to be going over the Forex pairs, looking for this exact pattern and buying opportunities for the week ahead. So thanks for joining, and let's begin. Before I start, customary risk warning: trading's risky, CFDs are risky. Be careful when you're trading, have a risk management plan in place. These signals aren't a personal recommendation to you, so you're not going to be given the highest level of protection a retail client perhaps would expect to have. And in light of that, you're not going to have protection from the Ombudsman or the Compensation Services Scheme if something was to go wrong or you were to complain. Lastly, Synergy is authorised and regulated by the FCA to deliver this. Let's start. First up, we got GBP AUD, and I'm really excited by this one. This is one for me to consider sending next week. You can see the first cycle and the second cycle. Many people saw this as the second cycle. Perhaps it is. Difficult to know if it's not. And then the 1, 2, 3. But for me, the way the previous peaks all the way up here, I'm expecting higher prices. This is one I'm going to be sending next week. What am I seeing on it that gives me... I'll just keep it high level in terms of time frame analysis at the moment. And we've just got a nice change of character going on here and a break of structure. And I expect it to be higher. Let's see if there's anything on the 4-hour. I have got a new computer, so everything should be a lot quicker. So let's get that away. What have we got here going on? So what I do like about this entire block is a consolidation zone ultimately. So this is like first consolidation zone after this triple hit to the low anchor point. Now, could we come back down here and retest? We could do. I don't think so because of where we are in the pattern. But what I like is trading off the previous lows and higher highs and higher lows here as well. This is a good one for next week, team. So I'm going to be looking at that one a bit closer nearer the time. Right, AUD CAD, let's see what's going on. So AUD CAD is a bit of a beauty. Let's get on a bigger time frame so we can see everything. So on the daily is where the picture emerges. So we've got the first zone, the second zone, and the peak. We have 1, 2, 3 up, which makes a big 1. 1, 2, 3 down, makes another one. So for me, this is the trap, this is the false, and we're expecting the real to play out. Looks much higher to me. We are in it already. We were in it down here. There's a beautiful, beautiful trade, actually, if you go back and have a look. So yeah, look at that. AUD-CHF, what are you saying as well? AUD-CHF is a beauty. Look at that. Look at the harmonic in blue. The blue swings lower. 1, 2, 3 of them. Notice the structure, the market maker's pattern, the consolidation zones in red. Notice the fractal nature of everything. The 1, the 2, the 3, and within the 3 are 1, 2, 3, and within the 3 are 1, 2, 3. Another 3 hits to the low. This is another one to be taking note of. Something's happening with the Australian economy. We are going to see higher prices. This could turn into a generational long opportunity. Right, AUD NZD. This one's evaded me. I wanted to get in. You can see the pattern there. It looks a little bit abstract. Many people have asked me, why isn't this 1, 2, and 3? Well, it is 1, 2, and 3, but this is the bigger pattern. I used EMAs to confirm that as well. You're not going to see the EMAs on this part. I do keep a little bit of material back, but I do give away a lot of information on my YouTube channel. The thing is, there is a lot of information on there, but this is the big but. Information may be there. It's like going into an exam, I guess, and having a cheat sheet. You can cheat the exam, but you're not going to be able to cheat the next exam if you don't have that cheat sheet. So it really does take hours and hours and hours of dedication and looking at the charts to let this relatively simple theory and information settle into your brain. So just bear that in mind. It takes any profession, a pilot, a lawyer, architect, is 6 years of training before you even get to do real work. Minimums. Vets, these are big dedications. So I want this to work for the rest of my life, and that's why I've put in the time. So here we go. In this consolidation zone, we can see the blue ABCD. We can see blue harmonics. We can see red ABCDs completing. We can see a 1, 2, and a 3 as well. So we know this is lower. We've missed the boat a bit. I wanted to get in short here. Missed it, but the pattern, we can understand the direction. AUD, NZD, USD, another beauty. You can see where we are in the pattern at the moment. The 1, the 2, huge Gartley pattern, which threw us, but didn't throw us really. It gave us a higher low point. Now, this is a 1, 3, 5 pattern now. This is one you don't really hear a great deal about, the 1, 3, 5 pattern, but it's incredibly, incredibly bearish. Notice the 1, 2, 3 up here, and notice that we are in this situation in the pattern, so expecting this lower. Lower lows and lower highs are being seen in the second zone. So this is a big one. as well. Strange, you might say, because the Australian dollar on the other pairs against those other currencies, such as the CAD and the CHF, were bullish against the dollar, though. Not too sure. Targeted entry, bang on for shorts. CAD CHF, what have we got here? This is one we sent on Friday. Didn't really do much. Down at 8 pips. Nothing major. You can see the size of the ABCD. So the AB is equal to CD. This pattern started in 2017. So it's a 6-year pattern to complete, and we're just starting to move. Now, simply looking here, the simplest thing you can see so far is we've had 1 up and 2 up. So logic prevails, we're going to have 3 up. And if I look at all these retracement moves here, 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 let's have a look which ones we've completed at the minute. I've got a funny feeling this one's done. So that's what brought price to a bit of a halt around here. We can also get an estimation on this guy. This one might be thrown in there. There's normally 3 or 4 of these in a particular direction that you need to be aware of. So this would be my target for 3 to complete. It will sweep this high as well. See how it goes. Excuse me. CAD JPY, massive, massive peak, but a massive, massive selling opportunity too. So we've got the 1, 2, and the 3 to the peak. And at the same time, we've got a humongous ABCD pattern. Calling this as a sell, ultimately, there's going to be some JPY strength coming in. But in order to see this pattern in its glory, you need to see the ABCD-ness of it here. So this is A, B, C, D. This pattern in itself started in 2008 and has just completed now. These are seismic events that are potentially likely to happen. I can see the pattern. I can see the 1. I can see this could be 2, by the way, and it pushes again to this peak. Difficult to know, but ultimately the pattern's there. We do expect a pullback. CHF JPY, I just pass. I don't get caught up in that. 1, 2, 3 to the high. It's in a peak. The only thing likely for it is to come down or keep squeezing. Euro AUD, it's a beauty. Here it is on quite a large time frame. 1, 2 down, 1, 2 up, but on the daily it looks even better. Maybe if I set my chart so I can only see 1,000 units, it's a bit better. So 1, 2 down, 1, 2 up. What are we expecting? Higher prices. Euro AUD, Euro AUD, GBP AUD. What was the other one I looked at? AUD CAD, looks good. This is a long for next week, basically. Hopefully you can see why. Euro CAD hasn't been doing anything, so I'm not too interested. 1, 2, 3 down, 1 up, lower lows, lower highs. Nah, pass. Show me positive price action. Euro CHF, monster in the making. Need to get onto the weekly, I think, to see this at all. Week or the 2-day chart. 2-day chart, you can see the pattern. There's 1, there's 2, 1, 2, 3 to the low. That looks like a W, but it isn't. It isn't a W, it's a Gartley, and that's what we sold it for. So there may be another retest of the lower lows and lower highs. Could be wrong. Dangerous thing to be shorting a peak formation low. But that's why you use stops, and we're a pattern recognition signal service ultimately. So we're not thinking too much. We're just trading what we see. Now, Euro GBP is another one. Let's get onto a recognizable keel. So 1, 2 up, ABCD at the low, expect higher prices. Euro JPY, 1, 2 up, huge level 3 and a peak at the moment. Let's see if it's clearer on the weekly. On the weekly, you've got a huge butterfly pattern as well. And obviously there's this ABCD here that's been lurking. So this length here, if I copy it, stick it there. Still a little bit higher to go, potentially. But yeah, looking good. Looking good for shorts anyhow. Euro NZD, this is another family favorite. Look at that. Euro AUD, same sort of thing. We are long at the moment and we're around entry still, but we did have up 80 last week as well on this. Could be seeking out the D point. Should ultimately be respecting these lows, and certainly this low here. Does beg the question, but the price trend is higher. Euro USD, level 1 rise, expecting higher prices. Has it shown me anything? Not yet, but I can see a 1 and a 2. Probably going to give me the 3 higher. We shall see. 1, 2, middle of the zone, below the 50. Not sure about that. GBP AUD we touched on. GBP CAD, this is level 1 rise. Level 1 rise, sort of spooling at the top of consolidation, a dangerous place to exist. Hit though, I'll keep an eye on that one. But there's no real imminent trade for me on it. Now, this is one that has really done quite well, starting to accelerate away. 1, 2, 3 down, first zone, 3 harmonics lower, high, 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 low. Looks like this needs to give a proper higher low, but I can see a 1, 2, and a 3 to complete 2, and then back for the start of 3. So yeah, higher prices. GBP JPY, big peak. You can see the 1, 2. There's the 1, there's the 2, there's the peak. Shall I try and fit it all on one screen? Can I though? Can't change these units. Here we go. Add that in there. So there you go. You can see the pattern there. 1, 2, and the 3. So that's just a peak pass. GBP USD is so that's in a peak, and then we're going to move on to GBP USD. Same sort of thing. 1, 2 down. This is the first one up. There is a Gartley that was well spotted by someone who by somebody in our Telegram group. Spotted a really nice short opportunity on here, and it has played out. Puts us in an interesting position, but the problem with this position is we're in the middle of the zone. Makes it a bit 50-50. Right, NZD CAD, what have we got going on? This is a nice one too. There's the 1, there's the 2. This is a beautiful ABCD into a look, we're trading off this sort of structure here. Nice W, first zone, high, 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 low. This is golden for next week as well, similar to AUD CAD. NZD CHF is another absolute stunner. AUD CHF 1, 2, 3. 3 hits to that low as well. We're still in the peak formation. We haven't broken out of that yet. Here's the hero trade. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It gave it to us, and we were getting in around here and around here. It's just such a rewarding thing that. Hopefully you can see this isn't coincidental. It's actually there is a DNA to the markets. NZD USD 1, 2, 3 potentially. But remember, 3 makes 1. And this is one big consolidation zone. Similar to AUD USD, we have the Gartley making lower lows and lower highs. This is the 135 pattern again. It has overextended a little bit compared to AUD USD. We're still alive in this trade. We're just trying to get in line with the trend and sell with the trend. Okay, gold. Beautiful, beautiful gold. 1, 2, expecting a third higher. Indices, let's look at them. So for the indices here, we can see the ABCD structure, or the harmonic structure of the market, is quite evident here. Now, if I can draw out the rest of the pattern, sorry, I don't need to, you can see it. If I label it with my pen, that's what I meant. So first zone, second zone, we know this is the third, this is the peak. We had a go on the peak actually on an ABCD. I'll show you in more detail. But for me, we're trading off the previous, gone past it to be fair. We have to retest it at some point. And even in this structure here, you can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we're certainly up there. Now, the ABCD we sent, ABCDs are notoriously weak in this at the moment. So for example, here we took this one. It gave us nothing. It came back, and if lucky, you were lucky to get out at entry. Similar sort of thing to here. Hasn't given us enough. Blasted through it. It's coming back to entry. That's all we could be looking for. Or it is the start of the sell-off. So keen to watch closely. Let's look at crude. US crude oil. So where we are here in my chart is, can't really see it on that one. Let me see if you can see it on the weekly or the 2 days. 2 days is better for oil. So we do expect oil lower. I'll draw in the detail. So we've got 1, 2 down. We are heading down in oil, by the way. So this coincides perfectly with USD CAD, which is one of my favorite setups. Let me just label this up for completeness. 1 second. So we have 1, 2, 1. Expect lower prices here. And moving forward, US dollar basket. What are you saying on this big old pattern? So let's have a look on we can see this on a whole host of different time frames, the US dollar. For me, it's a really difficult one to ascertain. This is a previous high, so I'm expecting some action up here. If I'm honest with you, I think that there's one of two things here. This could either be the first zone of consolidation, but it hasn't escaped the peak low. So I don't believe it is. This is the first zone. This is push 1 of 2, 3, something like this. And then we see the second zone up here, making the 1, the 2. I know a lot of people who aren't too up to speed with the market maker theory and this type of trading would have this as 1. But one key takeaway is it's still part of the peak. Okay, so that's all I'll say on that. USD CAD, this is my This is my one. This is the boss. This is the boss. Amazing. 1, 2. It's going to give us 3 ABCD into entry around the 50 EMA. It's beautiful. Really nice setup here. It should have gone last week. It should have gone last week. USD CHF. USD CHF, the masterpiece of ABCDs, and we're now seeing, well, 1, 2, 3 makes 1 potentially, or this is 1, 2, and we're going to see a 3. Obviously, the harmonic move here looks like this move here, and this would be the other one if I move it across just to see what this. So this gave us a sell-off from here. Anticipate that we got this guy to come. So there you have it, folks. Last one to go. USD JPY. This is in a massive formation as well. 1, 2, 3. So I hope you find this information useful. I certainly do, and I very much enjoy looking at the charts in this fashion. If you want to join my personal YouTube channel away from the regulatory signal side of things to learn more about the way the markets work in this particular methodology, please go to @melonstrade. There's a free newsletter there as well. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers.